G'day everybody, it's Mike. Hope you're well. So here's, I guess, part two of the header update and tyres as well. And really happy with what the result is here. So I'm just going to take you through a few um, 0 to 60 times. 0, that's 60 miles per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, and 1/8 mile. I couldn't find anywhere else to do quarter mile safely, so that will have to wait until June 26th, and we have a street series, so I'm going to enter in that and also use that as a test and tune opportunity, and also see if I can do some runs and maybe get some points. But here we go. So the headers went on. As I said last time, they were a pain in the backside, but once done, they're up and running. I'm not doing a sound clip yet, simply because it has gone a little bit raspy, a little bit that funny rattly buzzing sound that they get. So this week coming, I'm going to get the exhaust, a little bit of work done with H-pipe and a couple of little resonators just to take the bark out of it and hopefully reduce that raspy sort of a sound. And that's the problem with V6s, they just, you can't make them sound nice. Well, you can, but not easily. Anyway, the good news is here, now on the left here, this was done at Willowbank Raceway. So the 0 to 60 mile per hour in 5.01, and that's without the 1 foot rollout, was my best time, and that was on a prep surface but with the standard Bridgestone RE003s, and I had a problem launching because too much and I would get wheel spin. So I went and bought the tyres, and I'll show you those in a minute. So I got some Enkei 17 by 7.5 wheels, and I went and got some Nankang AR1. They're like a street, I don't know, street and strip tyre, I guess. Very soft and really grippy, to the point where I'm blown away by how much better they are. And that was on a pretty rough, dirty surface on the edge of the road, on the highway where I accelerated off. But blown away how this thing grips. It is unbelievable. And also the tyre diameter is a little bit smaller. It's 25 inch versus 26, or I think that's 660 millimeter diameter versus 620 for the AR1s. So they're a bit smaller. So it's a bit like going from 408 gears to like 420, something like that. So what I found is it just grips and goes. I can load it up hard on the converter, just release it, and it just goes. So the 60 mile an hour time is now a solid 4.73. And as you see here, the 1 foot we picked up like nearly 3/10 with the 1 foot rollout. The next image, let's make this make this bigger, is 0 to 100. Now 5.27, that was on the same run at the drag strip, was my best. But here, 5.03, 0 to 100, it's just really good. And also you can see here, it's 4 meters less. So it's taken about 4 meters less distance to get to 100 kilometers an hour. But this is what's really encouraging, is the 1/8 mile. So here we are, 1/8 mile before headers and tyres. This is at the drag strip again, 8.69 at 82.8 miles an hour. That was one of the best ones. It might do an 8.64.5, something like that, but there's bugger all difference. 82 mile an hour. This is my fastest run that I did. I think I mentioned that before, not sure, but anyway, I did 105 miles an hour. And that is making a lot of horsepower. I've done really well there. Over here we've got 8:45 at 84 miles an hour over the 1/8 mile, and that is sensational. It's picked up 2/10, 2 and a bit tenths. It's picked up 2 mile an hour. So over the 8th mile, I'm hoping this will get me into the 13.0 or maybe a high 12. If I can do like an 8:30. If I can do an 8:30, it'll run a 12. There's no question about that. The top end of this thing after about 5,000 to 7,000 is sensational, really good. So here's the car, and you see it's got the ISF exhaust. I'm going to try and get some photos in the next week. I've got the wheels. They're the SC46, and very nice looking wheel, and they actually match the colour to the factory wheels. So when you drive around, it's not as obvious that you've got a different wheel on it. I had to buy wheel nuts, of course, because the factory ones do not fit, and that's the tyre there. So this was after the run, so I've just taken a bit off. It's still got the little nipples on it and stuff like that, but these tyres are super soft, and I'm very happy with that. So on the Dragy app, I'm trying to beat this guy up here, Red Spencer, and he has got, I think, the fastest naturally aspirated IS350, I'm going to say, in the world, because I haven't seen anyone quicker. There's probably guys have, but they haven't been public about it. But at the moment I'm in 3rd place, and this is 0 to 60 miles an hour, and I'm knocking on his door. This guy up here, this is the 8th mile. See, it's 772. This thing's got forced induction, so it doesn't count. But here I am, 2nd place in the 8th mile. Now he runs a 12-second quarter mile. We'll see that shortly. This is 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. I'm still in 3rd place, 2/10 off roughly. And here we are, the quarter mile time. So my best so far is 13:36. It's actually 13.351, but it rounds off. And Red Spencer is 12:89. Now he's got the same mods I've got, pretty much exactly the same. Why his is quicker, I think when you tested it, he had the better tyres, and he also has a limited slip diff, different suspension setup. So his car is consistently quick, and I've followed him on the Lexus forums to see what he's done. And everything he's done is bolt-on. So air filter, intake tube, headers, mid-pipe, rear exhaust, limited slip diff, RR racing tune, and that's it. And all the other suspension mods he's got is for track setup and bigger brakes, I think he's done, and a few other things. So I'm here now. I'm hoping I'll be down around this guy. There's Fernan 18. If we go back, he's in 2nd place here, and not in the quarter mile. So I'm hoping that I can get around there, 13.0. A 12.9 would be awesome. If I can get a 12.9, I'll be really wrapped. That's the whole thing, to try and get into the 12-second range. But this car is now making some pretty decent horsepower. The mile per hour when I first started was about 101, I think was about my best, and now I've done 105 miles an hour. And for my car to get to that, I'm making an extra, I think it's an extra 34 horsepower. So the tune, the exhaust, without the headers, so I don't know what my trap speed will be. I'm hoping 106 to 108 mile an hour, but it should be around, with the headers, everything all settled down and the exhaust finished and finalised. It should make around about 40 to 45 more at the rear wheels than stock, which will get me into the very high 12 range and 108 miles an hour over the quarter mile. So we will find out in, I don't know, a bit over 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks really. on the 26th of June, and weather permitting, it'll be nice and cold. So the DA will be good. The track will be good because they've got other competitions there, so it'll be prepped. And hopefully we can get that elusive 12-second quarter or get really close to it. So thanks for watching, and later on I will put up a couple of sound files so you can have a listen to the exhaust, see what it sounds like. But have a great week, and I will catch you later.